You're watching Metallica Mania, and I am back with another video. It's been a little bit of a hard time to find time to do these videos, but I was going through the unlistened section of my CDs that I recently picked up, and well, I had all the Gojira albums just sitting there, so I decided, well, what a better time, what not better time to rank Gojira's albums. First off, with this ranking, the bottom of the list was actually the hardest part of the list because I couldn't really decide which album was my least favorite. I finally went with one that I haven't really listened to that often, really never really went to it. All the other albums I went to quite often, and the one that I have not really had that much exposure to is probably The Link. Um, it's kind of going that weird direction. There's some good songs on here, like Indians, for example, Death of Me, Embrace the World, Inward Movement. There's some really good songs on here, but I have not been exposed to this album too much. I like everything on it. Let's just say that I like everything on every single one of these albums. They have all gotten perfect, not rip rating perfect, but top four have gotten rip rating. Below that, have not. This is number 7, by the way. I forgot to explain that before. This is number 7. The Link. Have not been exposed to that. It's kind of like the in between the progressive death metal and the groove stuff that they haven't found their sound yet. And it's their old sound and their new sound, kind of like in the awkward phase. Yeah, it's kind of like the awkward phase of the albums. Number 6 is one that I really like, which is Magma. What to say about this one? It starts out with the kind of slow, not really heavy track, the Shooting Star. Then it goes completely Your Annihilation with Silvira. Then The Cell, Stranded is awesome. Yellowstone, that one's a little bit iffy for me. Magma, a little bit iffy for me, but I like the songs because I like those songs because they're very mellow, and this is kind of a mellow album. It still has those really heavy points in it, but yeah, Lowlands and Liberation are like why end the album off with a slow song and then an instrumental. It's like, oh, come on, end it up with a big, absolutely heavy ass song. Please end it off with a heavy ass song. They did not on this album. Then Magma. Number 5. A lot of people will put this album really high on the list. The Way of All Flesh. The problem I have with this album, it starts out very heavy and awesome to start, and then kind of goes and I'm not a huge fan of the back half of the album. I still think I still think it's everything's like amazing, but it's just not as good as the first half, and that kind of brings it down. That's why it doesn't get the above perfect rating that I have on the channel. Um, yeah, Toxic Garbage Island, absolutely awesome song there. Vicinity, I think it is. I can't. It's in cursive. I can't read it on the back of the cover, so I'm sorry if I can't. Yeah, it's cursive. I can't read cursive. There. I can't read cursive. I've never been able to read cursive. It's always been an issue for me. It's kind of like I can't decipher what letters are which. I know what letters are which, but I just can't sometimes figure that out. And really I can't. And I really hate when they put lyrics in cursive in the books. I hate that. I absolutely hate that. Um yeah, just to know about this album. It's heavy first half and kind of weird and mellow, and and the way of all flesh, the title track. The hidden track is just. I'm not even gonna grade it on the hidden track. It's like it's not a listed track. 17 minutes long. That is just absolutely way too long. It's like yeah, it's like the one album that I've listened to in the past that has like a 22, 23-minute song. Um, Nargaroth's one, no, Nargaroth's second record has the big long ass song that's over 22 minutes. Um, Number four, Terra Incognita. A lot of people have this one a lot lower, but being a fan of death metal, I like this album a lot with the really deep death growls and the pretty heavy guitars. They definitely have a weird style to it. I would compare it to like Blackwater Park, Opeth, Blackwater Park almost, but not as good, by the way. It's not as good as Blackwater Park. It's the first one that gets a rip rating. I definitely think this album's beyond perfect, but yeah, not as good as Blackwater Park, but has that sound to it. Um, Favorite one on here is probably Satan is a Lawyer and Space Time. Those two songs are absolutely not just absolutely heavy. Fire is Everything is also really good. Love in the Forest. There's a lot of good. Every song on here is fantastic. Number three, an album I don't know how to say, but you can look it up. The title track is good. The Axe, Explosia, just that song just hits you immediately. I love that one. Liquid Fire, The Wild Healer, Plan of Obsolescence, I think it is. Mouth of Kala, The Gift of Guilt. The Gift of Guilt's probably my favorite. Pain is a Master, Born in Winter, and The Fall. Absolutely fantastic album. I was kind of torn between number three and number two, but I kind of went with a newer one. You probably already know what that album is. Yeah, a lot of Drop C on this album. If you don't know, they went with Drop C on The Way of All Flesh and this album. They went with Drop C on some of the songs, and the Drop C songs are awesome. I love Drop C as a tuning. Nothrock uses it, so that's another band that uses Drop C. Number two, or my second favorite, is Fortitude, their brand new one. Um, it's like Magma, but without the bad song placement. It has those slow parts, but it's mid record. It's mid record. The vocals start out really low on Born for One Thing, and then they just come in on Amazonia, like absolutely fucking fantastic. Another world has like a really heavy start, and then it goes slow, then heavy, and then slow. Hold On is the same way. Newfound, Fortitude, The Chant. Fortitude and The Chant are like two tracks. It's like it starts out the chant really slow, and then it hits the actual track to chant, and then it's an awesome song. Sphinx. Sphinx is probably like the chant and Sphinx is probably my two favorites. Um, Into the Storm, The Trails, and Grind. Holy shit, is Grind heavy. To end the album off with Grind was a fantastic idea. Start at the album with Born for one thing, with the vocals kind of like in the background, and then for it to go there, and then to the end of the album to be absolutely insane, loud as shit. It's a great album. I love how they did that. And number one, no surprise, From Mars to Sirius. I think that's how you say it. Ocean Planet. Starts out with Ocean Planet. That riff, the song, Backbone, From the Sky, Unicorn, Where Dragons Dwell, the heaviest matter of the universe, probably, if not the heaviest matter of, or heaviest piece of music Gojira's done. Flying Whales, In the Wilderness, World to Come, From Mars, and then to Sirius. And then Global Warming. Global Warming's my favorite one. It's got that weird tapping thing that they do. That's what I forgot to say about Silvira. It has that nice tapping thing. That has some good tapping to it. If you want to learn some tapping, that's D standard, and it's tap. It's the technique would be like tapping like this, and it's just fun to do. And it's so fun to try to do that song, try to play that song. And Heaviest Matter of the Universe has that weird thing where like the actual one finger tapping, where it's quite easy to pull off. I like this album for how it's progressive death metal. It is progressive death metal at its finest. The vocals are the best of ever. And yeah, there's no ever passing this album. It's one of the best albums to listen to. It's one of my favorite ones. It's actually my wallpaper on my lock screen. So that's what I think of Gojira. I think that every single album of theirs is good. I don't dislike any of the Gojira albums at all. By the way, I'm going to be seeing Gojira in October, so that'll be fun. Hopefully they play a lot of their new material, and yeah, hopefully I get to see them because, well, shit's going down again. It's getting bad again. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. I hope you guys liked the video. It's gonna be a lot harder to do more these videos. I've been getting prepared for videos. I got Dark Thrones to review. I got Sphinx to still review. I still got Slaughter to Prevail. The BVB album when it comes out. Bullet. I still got that band to do. Yeah. Hope you guys liked it. I'll see you guys in the next video.